Big Blue Thumb Productions presents the Podlie Podcast. Here's your hosts, Podlie Bill, Podlie Cliff, and Podlie Paul.
And hello, everybody. It is the Podlie Podcast, episode 142.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the beginning of the podcast.
Look at that. And hey, we got Laura. So I want to know what's happening here because Laura was in well before the podcast started.
Okay.
And William came in with about 9 minutes away from the podcast. He was already in. Now Nicole has just jumped in. So we had two real early birds there.
Okay, but William
got nothing to do on a family day or what?
Okay, but William is the one on when the podcast started, right? So does he get the 3,500 points? Who gets the points?
Well, Laura was in first, but she was in well before anybody else was. Even
Okay,
before,
but
well before we went.
You're in first, you should stay.
That's right. That's right.
Well, no, okay, that's easy. Then you guys can distribute the prerogative of 3,500 points, and I'll do my usual 1 point.
There you go. One whole point.
Well, I mean, we don't want to let anybody out, right?
That's rather cheap.
Yeah.
It's rather cheap.
Hey, happy Fam Day, everybody.
Happy Family Day.
Happy damn Fam Day. Happy Fam damn day.
Happy Fam damn
Happy
Day.
damn day.
Yes.
So Laura stepped in early last week. We weren't on and put her comment in.
Oops.
Hey, Laura, I renege my 1 point. You get 2.
Laura, that's like you can't get earlier than that.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's really early.
Yeah, you can't get earlier than that, Laura.
That is
That's kind of awesome. I think you should get double the points this week.
that is very, very early for sure. So I don't know if it's my internet or somebody's internet's acting up here a little bit tonight. So we'll see how that all plays out. You're kind of jumping in and out there, Cliff, and Paul's been okay. You had a couple little blips, but yeah, Cliff, you've been kind of jumping in and out a little bit. So we'll see how well this goes. And I don't know if it's on my end either. So we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, how was
No trouble. Sorry, Bill. Continue.
No worries. How was your guys' week? Of course, we weren't here last Monday, but we are back tonight. And how was the past couple of weeks?
Mike?
Well, last Monday, apologies. That was on me. I had to work. Apologies. So that one was on me.
No commitment, no dedication.
No commitment, no dedication. That was me, guys. Sorry. What was last month? Well, last month it was busy last week for me because of Valentine's Day, right? So I had a couple of murder mysteries. I had a whole bunch of trivias. I had a casino. Last Monday I couldn't make it because I had a casino that I had to work. So how am I? I'm good and I'm bad. First of all, let's go with the bad. I'm bad because I am in fact wearing pants. And I'm good because Depeche Mode are coming to town.
Depeche Mode is coming to town. Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say. I had to think about that for a second, Cliff. Depeche who? Did you just sneeze? Did you just sneeze, Paul? Bless you.
No. Well, if I did, it was in French because Depeche Mode is French. I mean, well, sorry.
All right.
The title Depeche Mode is French. They're a British band, but they are coming in November. Tickets go on sale tomorrow morning. I have scrimped. I have stolen. I have saved. Well, I haven't saved because I didn't know they were coming till last week. I have scrimped and I have stolen to get money for a concert ticket tomorrow.
Wow.
So, yes, I am really excited.
Cool. That sounds like it. And I just want to say a quick hello to William. Happy Family Day to you. And hello there, Marvin.
Hello, Marvin.
Laura's asking if you have a code, Paul.
No, I got to do that tonight. I got to figure all that. Laura's been a darling. She's been trying to help me to get the best tickets, like with codes and with VIP rooms and stuff like that. Right? Laura and I were talking about this a couple of days ago. The guys my buddies that I went with in 2017. We're gonna go again because we're all huge Depeche Mode fans, and I'm gonna see if I can't figure out how to get to the proverbial front of the line tomorrow in time of tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. But I got to work tomorrow, so
Sorry, Paul. When is Depeche Mode coming anyway?
November, I want to say 27th. I think it's 27th.
Like, got a freaking year to go.
Yeah, but tickets go on sale tomorrow, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Every time you say Depeche Mode, he's just blessing. Oh my goodness me. Does that mean something? Depeche? What does that mean?
Fast fashion. Fast fashion.
Okay, fast fashion.
Depeche in French is fast, and mode is fashion.
So fast fashion. They're very fast and they're fashionable.
And they're not the least bit French. They're British.
Cool. Fast fashion. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good name, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have to make fun of it just a little less. Like, I mean, not too much less, but a little less.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Hey, anybody want to come?
Okay.
So that's me. Anyways.
Well, I hope you get good tickets, my friend.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Nothing quite as good as seeing your favorite group or band, right?
Oh man, I've been bouncing off the walls for forever.
As probably anybody who has ever even met me once knows, Paul Simon is my favorite dude of all. As far as acts go, as far as musical artists go. And when I saw him in '91 at the Coliseum, well, now it's called whatever it's called now. I think the Coliseum's done, right? Yeah, but it was at the Coliseum, 19,000 people or whatever it was, second row. Second row, right to the center, and there's Simon right there. I mean, if you're gonna see your sort of favorite person, if you can get good seats, it really is a bonus, right? So I hope you get like the best seats on the planet.
Me too. Thank you very much, sir. There's nothing like seeing a live show, and there's nothing like seeing a live show from your favorite band that you've followed for the better part of 35 years. So
100%.
Yeah. It's a happy week, boys and girls. It's a happy week.
Yeah. How are you, Mr. Bill? How was the week?
I'm doing pretty well. Good evening to Chai, as she has just jumped in.
Chai.
Well, pretty standard. Busy work week. Lots of meetings happening during the day, and as you all know, lots of Ravenwood Music Festival preparation happening right now as well. So,
rah Ravenwood! If anybody has no idea what Ravenwood is, what are you doing on this podcast? No kidding.
And why haven't you bought your tickets yet?
And why haven't you bought your tickets yet? Ravenwood Festival coming up. The great and brilliant and wonderful and lovely and musically ultra talented Sash Jordan headlines. Oh my God, I can't wait to see her. She's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, excited about that. And I'm also looking forward to our Friday night headliner, The Long Run, as well.
The Long Run.
Listen to some Eagles tunes. That'll be fun.
In the long run. I love the Eagles. I listen to The Long Run, but man, I love it.
And how about you, Cliff?
Same old stuff. Pretty good. Kind of busy, kind of not. Kind of relaxed, kind of not. kind of not. You know, that's just the way it is, right?
Sounds like a multiple personality disorder you got thing going over there.
Dude, it's been going on for a very long time, Paulie.
And Cliff Nicole just says, wait a minute. Paulie, you were talking to Laura a couple of days ago. You mean...
Oh, was that Saturday? Nicole, you rock.
That joke never gets old. I'm kidding. It's old. Nicole, get off the podcast.
And Laura says she wishes she could watch Sash Jordan. Well, Laura, you could sell your Nickelback tickets.
You could.
Yeah. You could sell your Nickelback tickets and come see Sash Jordan.
You could. Yeah. So, I mean, really, the music sounds exactly the same anyways. So,
I was busy in here for a bit because I was technologically challenged, which, by the way, I'm not sure how my sound is coming through.
I can hear you.
Because I'm not using my microphone.
Oh, no. How come?
Well, because I plugged it in and the stupid thing keeps saying the USB is asking for more power than I can provide. So that's Windows' PC way of saying your USB is not effing working. Please do something about it.
More power. You got to stop holding your head in your hand there, Cliff.
Right. So So I couldn't use this, and then of course, in order to reset the computer, I had to turn it on and off again. And of course, as you all know me, I work on the legit system, which means I was only here 2 minutes late. So by the time I turned my computer on and off again, I thought I was going to miss the beginning, but it turns out I was again
You were right on time. You were right on
Yeah.
time.
So anyway,
yeah.
I was busy doing all of that and trying to get the thing working, and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I wasn't paying attention. And just now, when I looked behind me out of the corner of my eye, I saw this shiny little thing right here. And I got this beautiful drink right here that my lovely wife left me. So sweet of her. And I didn't even say thank you because I was so busy doing this. So that's it. And if you happen to see the podcast, or if you happen to be on, thank you very much for the drink.
And I'm not asking what's in it. So and
is that what you call one of those rhetorical questions there, Bill?
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. That's what it is. Just the same as telling Leslie Ann, do not drink whiskey like water. So
That's right. Just gonna quench your thirst.
do not rehydrate with whiskey.
Oh, Leslie is on. Thanks, love.
Apparently Laura's daughter has given some sort of look because I made mention about selling the Nickelback tickets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, how old are your daughters? They can go. I mean, you don't have to.
They probably are going with her. They probably
I'm
are.
just bugging you, Laura.
They probably are.
Leslie, did you hear what Bill said about the whiskey?
Well, if you didn't hear it, I'm sure you'll rewind and listen back later.
Right.
So, yeah. Wow, what a
Bill is
start!
cracking tonight, boy.
What a start to episode 142. First, Paul starts off sneezing, then
In French.
in French, mind you.
In French.
And then people are angry at me because I tell them to sell their Nickelback tickets, and yeah.
Oh man.
Well, sorry, Leslie Ann, you can turn your volume up a little bit, then you can probably hear me.
Bill. Leslie Ann says, I can't hear you.
Or I'll just mute mine and you can listen to Paul and Cliff. How about that?
Mr. William Roberts,
Yes.
what's new?
Not much for me. Like I said, pretty standard week, and short week this week with being Family Day. So lots more meetings happening this week and all sorts of stuff.
I'm assuming that you boys did not work today, either of you.
No, I was on my work email this morning briefly.
Oh.
I was just because I have clients across Western Canada.
Yeah.
And Western Canada mainly all has Family Day anyway. Just a couple things I did, but that was it. I was only just a little bit this morning.
I did about maybe 2.5 hours. Nothing serious. So just a little bit of catch up, stuff like that. So
yeah, that's kind of what I was doing this morning. Just not that long though, by any means, but.
And that's the thing with the current work environment, right? You can work whenever you want. The good thing is you can take time off when you need it, and so on and so forth. Obviously, not if you got meetings, but you know what I mean. You kind of schedule your time. The plus side is you get to do that, and you have that flexibility. And sometimes the downside is you do end up working, on Sundays or whatever. But you know what? Given the alternatives, I'm quite happy with the ability to schedule my own time. That's a real boon in my mind. I think I'm very grateful for that. So.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy too, having the ability to work from home. So I have my kind of my office area, then I have my secondary office area, so my main work, and then my Ravenwood work. So I go back and forth between the computers all day, and I can still monitor my work computer and do my Ravenwood. So it's nice to be able to go back and forth like that for sure. Laura says, not a chance. The girls want to go to the concert. Well, the girls do.
Yeah. Girls do. Just drop them off.
Yeah.
Drop them off at a rock and roll show. No problem.
Everything failed the TV issue.
I think
Laura was just torching you a bit.
Yeah.
And the ones were formed though.
we missed last week, so now it's we got to get this out of our system for everybody.
And you only torture those you love. I mean, why would you torture anybody else?
Yeah.
Hey, how old were you guys the first time you guys went to a show by yourselves?
Oh, I
Oh.
was pretty young. Paul.
Concert. I don't mean movie. I mean concert.
I don't know. Probably early teens.
Yeah, I think I was 14, 16 maybe. 14, 16.
Maybe same
Yeah.
sort of range.
Yeah, I was pretty young. I was pretty young. I mean, we grew up kind of wild, right? I mean, I don't know what you guys' childhood was like, but we grew up kind of wild. So,
Yeah.
I mean, for heaven's sake, I used to take a bus, one train and two buses, to go to school every day, right? And then and the commute was 3 hours, right?
Yeah, that don't happen no more. Yeah.
So I mean, after school, nobody was in any panic to get on that bus and get on the train, get on the bus and get home. So I mean, often you'd go do whatever, right? And parentals will say, "Hey, what happened?" "Oh, well, the train was delayed." The bus was delayed.
Yeah.
What were they going to get on the internet and check?
Yeah.
Right.
You gonna text you?
Come on. What are they going to check the abacus? What?
Exactly, right?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah. Chai says she was 14. And if I remember correctly, I think that was an ABBA concert.
Oh, nice.
Wow,
Nice.
nice.
That
would have been a great group to see.
That she went to. So
Nice.
anyway, and before we jump onto our topic, I guess the one thing that is new, we bought a new vehicle, Chai and I. So
Oh, hey, congratulations. What'd you buy?
we ended up deciding to look at a used Lexus, a 2019 Lexus NX300, and got a excellent. The nice thing, the reason we ended up jumping on it is because it had only 20,000 kilometers on it. So the person that had it, barely drove it, and it didn't even look like they had anybody ever in the vehicle. Brand new. So I don't know if it was like one person and they refused to ever drive anybody around or what, but there's not a mark on it. There's not a mark on the seats. There's nothing. Like it's sat in the garage for 4 years basically, and once in a while they took it out for a drive.
What year is it, Bill?
2019.
2019. Okay. 2019.
Yeah, that's crazy to have 20,000 kilometers on it. That's nuts.
Yeah. So barely used. We had our mechanic check it out. Motor looks brand new. There's still notches on the brake rotors, for crying out loud.
Wow.
New,
Wow.
Well, congratulations. What a nice vehicle.
Yeah. So we'll be picking that up at some point later this week.
I think this week you said,
Yeah. So Nicole says to Chai, she's so jealous.
But you know what she's jealous of? She's jealous of seeing, because
ABBA.
seeing ABBA. I would be too. ABBA was great.
I would be too. I'd love to see ABBA. Yeah.
And Nicole, you said your first concert was Thunderdome, Lawrence Gowan. Hey, I hate to break it to anybody, but you should have come and said hi. I was there at that concert. Leslie and I were there. Okay, I love Lawrence Gowan, and that concert at Thunderdome was absolutely fracking brilliant.
Yeah. Gowan's awesome. Gowan's awesome. Lawrence Gowan's Sticks is awesome. I love.
Could you possibly find a better vocalist to replace Dennis DeYoung than Lawrence Gowan? My God, what a great match, right?
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Great match.
Yeah. And of course, when Chai saw ABBA was in their prime at that point, right? So, that's a great time to have seen them for sure.
That's awesome.
And then Nicole says, "What, Cliff? You were at Gowan? Man, to go back in time."
What year did you figure that was, Cliffy?
Huh?
What year did you figure that was at Thunderdome the Gowan show?
Oh my God.
Ish.
1990, 92.
Gotta be a long time. Goodness me, man. I just moved to Edmonton.
Yeah.
I don't know. Leslie would probably have a better idea. I mean,
Nicole, if you know, let me know what year that might have been.
Back to the Thunderdome, but the Thunderdome closed very soon after that. Didn't last very long after that.
Yeah, the Thunderdome didn't last a whole long time for sure.
Didn't it become the Union after that?
I think so.
Union Hall. Yeah, Union Hall.
Oh man, you used to party the whole.
I was close. I said 92. Nicole said 95 or 96.
96.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, Thunderdome first of all, and then when it became the Union, remember the upstairs? Oh man, goodness gracious me, I partied like freaking crazy in that place. You should be just hopping.
Mm.
Good times.
Yeah. Partied like there was no tomorrow.
I was only ever in Thunderdome one time. I was only ever in Thunderdome one time, and then I'd never been to Union Hall. Never. I don't even know what that property is anymore.
I don't
Union was
know.
a great club to go. If you wanted all out, straight up party, Union was fantastic, man. The music thumping, the never any fights, nothing. It was just awesome. You could go from open to close and you could just rock the joint. Right?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'd never been.
Hey, that's right. That's it. Says Jeff Healy. That was it at the Thunderdome up? That was all. Oh man, Healy was so good.
What a guitar player, eh?
Jeff Healy.
And just a great venue. To see Healy, it was just so good.
Yeah. And man, after Burn It to the Ground, I felt like I had danced for 3, LOL.
Burn It to the Ground to Nickelback.
Oh, Nickelback. That's Nickelback. Yeah, it took me a second.
Yeah, it's Nickelback.
Yeah. So apparently,
I can't believe how long ago it was. My goodness me.
Yeah. Laura said her 10-year-old girls. I don't think her 10-year-old girls would want to go without her, considering Nickelback is one of their favorite bands.
She wants to go with Auntie Nicole, though. I heard.
I saw something about
I
that.
read that somewhere.
Yeah, I saw that in an earlier comment there.
I used to see a lot of shows at Reds. Remember Reds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
West Hampton Mall?
Yeah.
Saw a lot of shows at Reds. Saw a lot of shows at Reds. Remember Club Malibu? I used to see a lot of shows at Club Malibu. So
Yeah. Yeah, I remember good old Reds. I remember seeing a Trooper show at Reds one time.
there you go.
Yep, we saw Trooper. We saw who else at Reds? Damn it!
I saw the Watchmen at Reds.
Wait a minute. Which Watchman? Name me a song.
Stereo.
Oh my God! Seriously, that Watchman, the Winnipeg Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to have seen them.
I know they're brilliant. Yeah. They're so great.
Paulie, that song Stereo. It's like the soundtrack of my freaking life, man.
Oh, and they've got better songs than that. Check out All Uncovered. The name of the song is called All Uncovered.
Know it? That and Any Day Now. Remember Any Day Now?
Oh, of course. Oh,
I love. Hey, listen, man. Any Day Now. When he's singing, he's talking about walking in from the cold, like Winnipeg, cold into the bar, the warmth, the bar, blah blah blah. And he talks about the light changing, and then he stutters on that change. He goes to change. But oh my goodness me, I just love that song.
Love Watchmen. Love Watchmen. By the way, Cliffy, to your point, we were talking about Annie Lennox a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So then you shot me the link to the Annie Lennox track that you really like.
Yeah, I posted it.
So I listened to it. I do enjoy it. I really, really like it. I don't like it, I don't think, as much as you do. I don't think. Yeah, but I do really enjoy that song. It is a very good song. So thank you for sending me that link. Yeah. I
think it's a beautiful song. I think it's, you know what? I have a Deserted Island list, and that song would be on probably the top 20. So. Oh,
yeah. See, no, not me. I like the song. It's just not one of my, not one of my favorites. But thank you for that.
Oh, well, I tell you what, perhaps it takes more listening than a one-time effort, right?
That's what happened with Disturbed Sound of Silence. That's exactly what happened with Disturbed Sound of Silence with me.
Yeah. Music is like that, right? Need to listen to it a few times to enjoy it. But
yeah. So Nicole says, I feel like what was the Thunderdome is now called Union. Is it still the Union?
Oh, well, I don't know.
I know it became the Union, Nicole. I just don't think it's still the Union.
Yeah,
well, I think it was Union Hall.
Union, yeah. I don't know if it still is or not.
Union Hall. So is it? I don't know. Who knows? No idea. It's funny. You know what? I'll get back to you guys because I drive by there on the way from work every day. I'll actually take a look. So I drive down 99th Street every day. So I'll take a look tomorrow.
I'm not completely sure if it is still
I don't know.
around or not.
I don't know. What's the name of that hotel? I'll check tomorrow, guys. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, they actually must be still around because they have a website and they have some shows coming up.
Oh, maybe they're still there.
Okay, so Bill, is it Union Hall or the Union?
It's Union Hall is what the website says.
Union Hall. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I know it as.
They have a let me see. There was a show there just this weekend, actually.
Oh,
band
wow.
called a band called Sick Sick on the Mind Games tour.
Well, I
Then
was
they've-
definitely out of the loop because I haven't thought of the Union in 20 years.
Yeah, it's been at least that for me, and I've only been there once. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And they've got quite a few shows here, all the way listed into March. They're doing it.
Sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
They're actually doing on March 10th. They're doing a show there called Juno Fest as part of a Juno Award celebration. So Emily Schultz, the Fortunate Ones, Martin Kerr, and the East Pointers are playing that show on March 10th at the Union Hall.
Well, and I know Juno Fest, but I didn't know it was going to be at that venue.
Well,
There's a lot, Bill. There's a lot of people that you and I know that are playing Juno Fest. By the way, Keely Cargill's going to be there.
Well, they're doing one on the 10th and one on the 11th.
There's a lot of people. Yeah.
So the one on the 11th, so they're doing two shows. The one on the 11th has the Washboard Union, Aaron Goodwin, Nice Horse, the Prairie Status, Haley Benedict, and Robert Adam.
That's all country. That's all country. I've interviewed girls from Nice Horse. I've interviewed Haley Benedict. That's all country. So
yeah, that's the 2 nights. So they're doing 2 nights there at Union Hall.
Oh, I didn't know it was at Union Hall. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay, good to know.
So
good to know.
Anyway, yeah, they've got tons of shows here going right through every month. They've got bookings going on. Yeah,
I better take special attention to that now. Very interesting.
Yeah, I'm just going through here to see if there's anybody that I actually fully recognize on here, other than what we just said for some of the bands that are playing the Juno Fest.
There's a bunch of those names that have won.
Not seeing
Alberta Country Music Awards too, the ACMAs. A lot of names that have won ACMAs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, William says Rock
All
City.
Right.
Oh my gosh, William, Rock City. I used to be the DJ at Santana's, William, for a long time. Ezzy's. I remember Ezzy's. I remember both gas pumps.
Ezzy's. That was a place to go.
Boy, you remember that, Cliffy? Ezzy's was so good.
I spent many a Thursday night and many a Saturday night at Ezzy's, man.
Oh, too funny. Too funny.
Well, Laura says last time she's at the Union Hall was a BSB after party, which, by the way, was the best after party BSB has ever had. The members that showed up did their solo stuff. Amazing.
Nice. Nice.
Of course, BSB meaning Backstreet Boys, for those that may not know what that acronym is standing for.
The Limelight. I've never heard of the Limelight. Have you guys heard of William references the Limelight?
I remember the name, but I don't think I've ever been there or ever went there.
But yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. William, I completely have stories with every single one of your references except the Limelight. So I don't remember that. Remember Rock City? Remember Rock Central, William? Rock Central was in Kingsway. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And Marvin said he took in some good tunes at Bunker's Pub last weekend.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Marvin invited me, Bill, and I couldn't go. I had the kids, but Crazy Dave played.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Well, here we are. Look at the clock.
Look at the clock. Exactly right. I was gonna tell you guys that all the names that you've mentioned, I'm gonna just have to hold on for a moment, just in case you have more names to mention. In the middle of all of that, I have to tell you, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the middle of the podcast. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Never gets old. Never gets old.
142 times. Well, I don't think
Cliffy.
I don't think you started that at the beginning, though, so I'm not sure.
No, I think we were missing some episodes at the beginning of this, right?
Right. And just quickly, we haven't even gotten to our topic, but I'm curious, Laura, have you started tracking points?
I forgot about that.
Laura!
So she did say 2 weeks ago she was going to track points. So, I just wanted to see if there was an update, like on the standings, like who's been leading.
You have a spreadsheet on the go and matching all the points to whoever.
Yeah. So, and I'm just going to quickly, and again, I know I'm not on the topic at all, but going back to Paul, you mentioned tickets for Depeche Mode or
Yes.
Fast Fashion go on sale tomorrow. So is it like 10 a.m. or like, are you gonna have to be lined up in front of your computer? Like, what's going to happen?
10 a.m. baby. We already got a plan. Me and my buddies. So I have to work. So I said, and my buddy's like, well, yeah, no, I don't have to work, so I'm going to be at the computer. And he was bugging me 15 minutes before I came onto the podcast. I said, I messaged him. I said, don't forget. And he's like, forget what? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm like, you son of a gun, you best be setting your alarm. So, no, we're huge Depeche Mode fans, and yeah, no, he's on it. So
that's it says. Maybe Laura can tell us when the middle of the podcast began.
Yeah, maybe. And hey, Paul, you could just put a reminder on your Alexa or whatever you got there. For Depeche Mode. It's like, hey Google, remember Depeche Mode.
That's not funny, Bill. That's not funny. And there it goes, you son of a gun.
Where's my symbol?
Jeez. Okay, well, hey, you know what? Honest to gosh, my Google has totally been very busy because I've been listening to the latest Depeche Mode release. I think I'm probably on 30 times this weekend alone. I think so.
That's funny, eh? But when you first set up Google, you have to do a voice print and all this type of stuff, supposedly, yada, yada, yada. It's bullshit. My wife could trigger my phone.
You bugger, it's going off as we speak. Thank you for that.
I can hear it.
Yeah. And I remember a long time ago on the podcast, I was talking about location services, saying it's all bullshit and turning it off and all that type of stuff. Yeah. Did you know Google got sued for like millions upon millions of dollars because they were tracking location even though it was turned off on the phones? And I mean, I knew it. I was just intuitive when I talked about it, and then I heard that they had a lawsuit where they lost a bunch of money. It's just so disingenuous, right? I mean, if you don't put a switch on there and say, hey, listen, this is the system we have. If you want to use it, then these are the terms you have to abide by. Then we can say, okay, well, we don't want to use it, or this world is too complicated without it, so we're going to use it and we're going to forfeit this. But then why the hell put a switch on there if you're not going to honor it? It's just bullshit, right? It's just pure disingenuity, right? And facade and lies and all that type of stuff. I don't know why they do that. I mean, it's not like if I needed the maps, I'm going to say, well, no, but they're tracking my location anyway, and I'm not going to use it, and I'm going to stay lost in the European jungle somewhere, in Fanghorn Forest or something, because I don't want to use the location services. But then why put a switch on there if you're not going to abide by it, right? It's just
Yeah.
True. It's true. So, guys, we're in a little bit of hot water here.
Because we haven't talked about the topic.
Well, because Laura said, "What is the topic tonight?" and Leslie Ann goes, "What topic?"
Well, this was the topic. You can see it on your screen now.
Hey, wait a minute.
We're in a little bit of trouble here, boys.
Wait a minute. We resemble that remark.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. What topic?
Yeah.
So Nicole wants to know, Podlie, does your Google ever start talking when you haven't summoned it? When you haven't summoned it.
Okay, so my Google is in my kitchen and the TV room is downstairs. I have had my TV from downstairs trigger my Google upstairs. I have. So
crazy.
With Google.
But what would be freaky about that, Nicole, is if you had Google on your phone, and then Alexa and Google started having a little conversation. I mean, that would really be freaky.
That would be cool.
There'll be a whole bunch of swearing going on, right?
Yeah.
No, screw you, Google. No, screw you, Alexa. What kind of a name is Alexa? And by the way, don't mess with me because Siri is on my side.
Oh, Paul. Nicole says you have a very sensitive Google.
Well, it's really weird. It's really weird because I got to be honest with you. I stroke her ego like every single day, so I don't know why that would happen.
You just
don't quite know why that would happen.
Nicole, classic. He's got a sensitive Google.
Wow, Paul, we didn't know that about you. You learn something new every day.
Technology abuse over here. That's what that is. Technology abuse.
That's why you come to the Podlie podcast. You learn
Right.
something new every day. And we know that Paul now has a sensitive Google.
That's right. Yeah, and Nicole goes, and you're welcome, mic drop.
That was awesome.
Oh boy.
And Nicole said earlier something about that paper map sales have gone up. And I see that Leslie Ann says the flat earthers have brought back the need for paper maps because they're flat.
Flat.
That's what it See there?
Oh.
Flat. Look at the map.
That's completely true. When have you ever seen a map that, other than a globe, but when have you never see a paper map that's in a
Don't fall off. Don't fall off. Watch those margins, baby. Watch those margins.
Oh man. Nicole says, that explains it. And Chai says, comedy night tonight.
Well, yeah, I'm still taken aback that Paul has a sensitive Google. That kind of threw me off, but
I don't know why I say nice things. I don't know.
First tonight, Paul is not only he's not only wearing pants, he's got a sensitive Google.
I don't know.
I think Nicole deserves some points for that.
Darn
I think we should take 3,000 points and give half to Nicole and half to Leslie Ann for the platinum.
Hey, you know what, Nicole? Don't worry about it. The second that we're off this podcast, I'll be stroking my Google like you wouldn't believe.
And on that note, Chai says, if the earth is flat and there's an edge, where does all the ocean water go? Well, it might be one of those filters, you know, in a fountain, it's got the filter that recycles the water. It just recycles it. Nicole says the next show is at 11. Be sure to tip your server well.
Tip your server. Try the veal. Try the veal.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. All right. What's the topic? Damn it, boys. Jeez.
Well, we don't have a lot of time now. I'll put it up again. This was the topic. It's up on your screen there. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, space race.
Yes.
Okay, so for those only listening and not watching, what's on the screen right now is the space race necessary? Do we spend as much time as we do trying to get further into space?
Do we need? I probably should say, do we need to spend as much?
We need
time?
to spend as much time as we need to trying to get further into space.
Yeah.
Who proposed this topic?
I think I put that up there originally.
Well, then, Bill, you're up.
Then Bill, break the ice, Bill. Break the atmosphere, Bill. Break the atmosphere, buddy.
Sorry, Bill. We established this some time ago. Remember?
Yeah, I'm not. I think there's been some heavy climate change on this podcast tonight, which has caused our
boy the gases for this podcast.
Okay, Leslie Ann says, hold on, what I gotta read this. Leslie Ann says, yeah, Cliff. Nicole said you need to tip me. Well, hold on, love. When I get out there, if you're standing, I promise I'll tip you.
Don't get hurt.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, just don't get hurt. Nicole says, wait, don't break the atmosphere. That's like pull my finger.
There's a lot of gases in the world, in the atmosphere. There's a lot of gases. It's gaseous, baby.
The whole atmosphere of this podcast has completely changed. Let me tell you that.
I think William covered it just now. He says, oh, no, not dad jokes. I agree with you, buddy. So, Bill.
Yeah, so
space race.
Well, my opinion, I think well, I shouldn't say I think, it is my opinion that I do believe in the space race, because we've talked about this on the show, but I think we need to, look at other areas around this universe that might be habitable at some point down the road, and places that we can get to. So I'm all for it. I think there's people out there who think, too much money is spent on trying to be out there and finding these things, or exploring the universe, etc. But for me, I think it's very important. I saw a short video today, actually, on Venus, and Venus is classed as Earth's twin planet,
Right.
basically. Even though apparently they said that Venus, NASA and scientists have said that Venus was habitable back a billion years ago, but it was hit by major greenhouse effect, climate change, etc. So huge temperature changes. It lost all its water, etc. Now, temperature on the surface is like 485 degrees Celsius. So they're saying that's kind of what happened to Venus back then. So anyway, I'm all for the space race. I realize that it is costly, but I think it's something that needs to be done.
Okay, so the space race, we call it the space race. The space race was initially called the space race because it was legitimately a race between the States and the Russians. Okay, that's why they called it the space race. It was the first, who gets to the moon first, who gets a satellite into space first. That's why it was called the space race. My question is, do you think there's still a space race happening? Ergo, do you think there's still competition to dominate the heavens? China's in on it now, something fierce. They have, let satellites into the atmosphere. And so do you think that there's still competition to dominate the heavens?
Well, yeah, you've got
Do you think so?
You've got SpaceX, you've got Jeff Bezos with Amazon, you've got what's his name from Virgin Airlines? Now the name is
Branson.
Yeah. So you've got, he's involved, NASA's still involved,
And then you got the government.
Russia's still involved, and then you've got government. So NASA, all these people are still trying to.
China's launching, and putting a telescope on the dark side of the moon, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a race, Podlie. As a matter of fact, it's more of a race now than it ever was.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's funny because what little I don't claim to know a lot about this. In the 80s, when there was Star Wars, Reagan's Star Wars, and that was the climax of funding for NASA and stuff like that. That was the American climax for space
and
race.
You know what the worst mistake was? Was that nobody followed through on Reagan's plan.
Oh, 100%, Cliff. Couldn't agree
how
with you
far ahead we would have been had anybody followed through on that.
Yeah.
Because after Reagan, what happened was they stopped giving funding to NASA. Well, they didn't stop. Let me rephrase that. They did not stop. They rolled it back. They didn't give half as much.
Well, they decimated the funding because it wasn't a priority for some odd reason.
It wasn't a priority anymore after Reagan. That's exactly
I tell you what, that's a very stupid notion.
That's exactly right.
If you actually look at the current, and I don't want to get into this, believe me, not on here, but the fact of the matter is, if you look at the current scenario of dominance in the space race and what it could mean on the ground, if you actually started thinking about it and moving your feelers of thought in that direction, let me tell you something. You would be quite concerned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because let me just whet your appetite for a moment. And you can go do your own research. What do you think controls every weapon of war currently on Earth?
What? You said what?
Yes.
Control?
What do you think are the control mechanisms? Satellites.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what happens if people destroy satellites?
Well, then we go back into the dark ages.
There's no such thing as dark ages.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
the equipment currently in use with the militaries of not only the United States but all over the world are 100% dependent on communication. And that communication is 100% dependent on satellites.
Mm-hmm.
So why would anybody put themselves in a vulnerable position by decimating the space program, which is what everybody did after Reagan?
Yeah.
And he was the last smart guy to ever to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, until Trump came along. Trump
Yeah.
started the space war program again, and then Biden shows up, trashed it again.
Gone again.
Trashed it again. I'm telling you something. It's really very stupid because they don't seem to understand the ramifications of this, and I don't understand why. Well, I can guess why, but I don't understand why.
Mhm.
So, Bill, to your point, I think the space race, and I think the amount of time and effort spent in the space race is absolutely and 100% imperative.
Yeah. And if you look at how the space race is being handled, though, now, Cliff, and you've kind of alluded to it already, is when you've got, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson, and these are all private guys that are doing this, right? And like I said, NASA's still involved. They're still, doing things, and they're trying to get a ship together to go to Mars, et cetera, as well. I know the next step is to get, they just orbited the moon. The next step in the next, I think, 2 years or something like that is to get some people back on the moon again. That's the full plan by NASA. People like Richard Branson, though, I'm not sure I can completely say that they're part of the space race because he's looking at a tourism aspect of it.
Yeah,
So he's just flying people in to get them into space and then flying them back.
Right? Same with Bezos.
Bezos right now. Yeah, I think Bezos is trying to get into it a little bit further, but they're not touching what Elon Musk is with SpaceX is doing for sure. Yeah. SpaceX, I think, is
sorry, Bill?
the leader right now. I was just going to say, I think SpaceX Elon is the leader right now.
And Musk has a vastly different vision. I mean, his vision is not to shuttle rich people, tourists up there. I mean, he might get to that for a fundraising standpoint, but that's not his goal.
Yeah.
That his goals are vastly more noble than that.
I think his goals are for the everyman.
Absolutely.
I think his goals are for the every person.
And I tell you what, over and over and over, he's proved that, Podlie, like in how he does things and what he does and his actual vision for the future. He's done what he said he was going to do right from the very beginning as it pertains to the space program.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that is actually doing it from a greater perspective than just making money from finance.
Yeah. From a less selfish point of view, I agree with you.
Yeah, his goals are much more loftier than just taking a tour. And like I said,
if I may, he's the Tesla of the space race.
Oh, you're damn right he is, right? And I mean, absolutely. And the fact of the matter is there will be a tourist aspect to it, but that's why not? Because if you have the facility in place to make money to fund your greater goals, I think that's perfectly a great thing to do.
Yeah, and he will be guaranteed that SpaceX and Elon Musk will get to Mars before NASA or anybody else does.
100%, Bill, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And I tell you what, you add that to the AI aspect of what is going on currently. I just saw a great interview with Musk. You should see it if you can. 35 minutes long. It's at the whatever summit in Saudi Arabia in the Arab Emirates. And he's interviewed on screen in front of a live group, and it's just 30 minutes. It's fantastic. Here's this dude talking about the very simple, very basic stuff, and it's fascinating, completely fascinating.
Well, and there's a couple of good documentaries on Netflix, and I know I've talked about this one before. Again, that's really about Elon Musk and SpaceX. So it's a series. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's called the Inspiration 4 Mission to Space, where they took 4 people that were not astronauts, and Musk took them, and they actually flew up into orbit, etc. But it's also a good documentary in that learning about what Elon Musk does and about SpaceX. It's a good series to watch. And they also have another one on Netflix that really follows around Elon Musk more so than the other people, and that's called Watch Return to Space.
Sorry, Bill, what was the first name again?
The first one is called Inspiration 4 Mission to Space.
Okay, thank you.
It's a documentary series, so it's following 4 people that are not astronauts. But like one is a pilot, one is doctor, I believe, and a couple others. But anyway, they had the opportunity to learn and train, and they send them up into orbit for like 3 days or something like that together. So that's a really neat documentary for sure. And then the Return to Space one is also really interesting to watch, because it does, even though it's talking about NASA and other people, it's mainly focused around Elon Musk and SpaceX. So that's another good documentary to watch.
Well, I tell you what, speaking personally, and anybody can call me names if they want to for that, but speaking personally, I think the future of the technologies that Musk is working on with space with space and everything else, I think they're in great hands, and I'm happy that a guy like him is at the helm until he proves me wrong.
Otherwise,
I will hold to that position.
Yeah. And Mike, hello, Mike. Good to see you're here. Mike,
nice to see you, buddy. Hey, listen, just a really quick heads up here. Mike is actually probably one of the people that the reason why we're on YouTube now instead of Facebook. He was one of the guys that brought this to my attention, and of course I brought it to Podlie and Bill about being able to just watch it on the television as opposed to have to get to a Facebook account and so on and so forth. So Mike, thanks for that, and thanks for showing up. And Jeremy says, Jeremy, that is, by the way, Jeremy Schultz says, good evening, and I'm sorry.
Welcome to me.
A few months late.
Busy changing diapers.
There you go. Good evening, Jeremy, and welcome to the almost end of the podcast.
So Mike, just going back to the comment. So Mike said there's a show on Apple TV that shows the space race that is still going on. That's cool. He said it's called
We're All Mankind.
We're All Mankind. Yes.
Oh, nice.
So I have to check that out. Yeah, that sounds good for sure.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I think personally, I think the space race is absolutely imperative, 100%. And I think that the more we become comfortable with the fact that space is actually literally the next frontier, everybody knows that, everybody talks about that, but it's the next frontier of dominance. I think a lot of people are not talking about that. They're talking about, they're talking about being the last frontier, the next frontier, the last frontier, whatever. But I don't think anybody's actually talking about it being the frontier that is actually, I mean, just imagine whoever conquers space.
So hang on, Cliffy. You're talking about militarizing space.
No, I'm talking about defending space. You can call it whatever you wish. But the fact of the matter is, whoever the dominant force in space is, they are literally going to run the universe for the next conceivable future.
Yeah.
I mean, how long? Decades? Centuries? So we better hope that those people are people of character, whoever they are.
Very true.
Right? And I hope I hope it's not a single country. I hope it's not a single continent. I hope it's a federation. If that's a bad word, I'm sorry. You know what I mean, though? An alliance of some kind, right? I hope it's a conglomerate of the best of all countries coming together and saying this is good for humanity.
Yeah.
You know, Cliff, I always found this very funny. The Jodie Foster film Contact from a Carl Sagan book. It was taken from a Carl Sagan book, and I guess the whole question of the movie, great movie, by the way. I guess the question of the movie was, and they actually ran into this: who represents humanity? So they were. Do you know what I mean? Like, who are we going to vote in as a representative for humanity to represent us and to talk about our best interests and stuff like that. It's a fascinating movie. Fascinating.
What's it called?
It's called Contact. Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey. It's taken from a Carl Sagan book.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So it's a fascinating movie, and who represents humanity's best interests. Do you know what I mean? Who puts a voice to that? It's fascinating.
And that's why I say it has to be a conglomeration of people, right? Yeah. Perhaps we vote in, every country sends their best representative, and we hope every country sends their best representative, who is the best representative of the better values, of the higher values, right?
Well, and therein lies the issue. China and Russia
Well, you know,
their representatives are going to be a little bit different.
well, okay, but wait a minute though, Paulie. We don't know what the future holds. You know, I think
True.
Sting really embarked on a great idea in a song when he says, I hope the Russians love their children too." Okay, it's my contention that China and Russia and India and anybody else you want to talk about, they love their children as well.
Beautiful reference.
When it comes to a global catastrophe, the potential of a global catastrophe, I think the love of children will trump whatever control any particular country wishes to have over all of the children, if that makes sense.
Baby, I hope you're right.
Yeah. And another reason that I'm definitely for the space race, though, is because back in November, China flew the Millennium Falcon. So, because, and I think Paul has flown that as well. So, because we
So
flew
y'all
that,
have experience then.
but yeah, I've had that opportunity to fly for sure. So I just saw this comment: Jeremy is sick and soaking in a bathtub. If you don't slow down by yourself, your body will help. So I'm curious, Jeremy, what are you watching this on? Because don't drop it in the bathtub. That'll be really shocking for you if you do.
That's shocking. I'm not sure what's more shocking: the fact that you might have put or attempted a visual of you in the bathtub, or the fact that you could literally get shocked.
Now, Jeremy, are you wearing a bath cap and got like a big layer of bubble bath, or?
Dude, don't continue with the visuals, dude. Don't do it. Don't do it.
This is coming from Paul. Can you imagine?
He's got a sensitive Google. Yeah.
Don't do it. That's right. My Google is very sensitive tonight. Be careful.
Yeah.
We
don't want to see pictures, Jeremy. That's
waterproof.
Yeah.
I made it in just over 12 parsecs.
Yeah,
Laura, just over 12.
Jeremy, there's really no need to send pictures, by the way.
Oh gosh.
We're okay with that. We're down to about 2.5 minutes here, gentlemen.
None of us Googles are going to be able to handle that, Jeremy.
Yeah. That's something I'm not sure we want to think about. Hey, direct message us with pictures.
Question, because I really like this topic. What's next for the space race? So we are going to populate Mars, or we're going to, colonize Mars. What's after that?
What's after that?
Well, like I said, in a couple of what's after Mars?
What's after that? What do you figure? What are we doing after?
Question. I don't know.
Any ideas? Any guesses?
I think building Mars. And number two, I think what will happen is if Mars doesn't become a penal colony for Earth, no, knock on wood.
The Australia of the universe.
Yeah, Mars does not come the penal colony of the Earth. I think populations would arise there and whatnot. And then the technology that we have garnered during the process will be able to solve any climate issues on Earth.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we got to kind of get close to wrapping this up here, John.
I really like this topic. I think it's great. I can talk about it.
I think we should follow it up sometime in future. Listen, it's been a fun podcast. The first half an hour was comedy night, as stated by Shai herself, and it was fun. It was great to laugh a little bit and let up some steam and all that type of jazz. We thank you guys for joining us. That's really awesome. It's nice to have people to laugh with and to join in the fun and the laughter and to egg each other on and so on and so forth. So we appreciate you being here. Must listen Monday. I say this every time, and I say it on behalf of both Paul and Bill and myself, on all three of us. We love having you guys here, and we really appreciate you showing up on Mondays. And again, we're trying to build the program, of course. So if you happen to be listening and have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. And secondly, if you can share it, that'd be awesome. But most importantly, come back next Monday. And if you happen to have missed the live broadcast, Mr. Bill,
you can tune in on Friday nights, 10 o'clock, soundsugarradio.com, and hear the audio. Or again, these are always on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and rewatch them as well. So have a great week, everybody.
Nice.
Have an amazing week, everybody.
Be back next week, 143.
Nighty night.
Stay happy.
See you all then.